and I was a radio talk show host here locally on 1370 AM, 96.3 FM. Before that, The Big Talker, and before that, ESPN, and then before that, out in Southern California many years ago, launched in about 1999. And BFIM, Be First in Media, the fist, that's kind of one of our logos that we use, because the fist has been used for many, many generations all over the world for the fight. And locally here, you can see it as close as the Black Panthers movement, or in Russia, you could see it with the iron fist of communism. But it's also been used for the fight for the people who are the least represented. It's the fight for the revolutions. And so we kind of use it as a fun little spoof in some cases, but also to let people know that there is a fight going on right now. Traditional media, as you know, does not show up. Traditional media is not, freedom of the press in this country is a big deal. And I've had Jerry Patterson on my show more than once. I had the Lieutenant Governor on and Ted Cruz when they had the big fight going on with the biggest upset in history in the state of Texas. The wealthiest, really the most powerful legislative seat in this state is that Senate seat. And we have a lieutenant governor that had a lot of money. He's a good man, a nice man as far as that goes. I don't go home and have barbecues with him, but he seems like a nice man. But we saw big power brokers running against really the Tea Party / independent / I'm pissed off, I don't want to take it anymore people who showed up, and Ted Cruz won. That's a paradigm shift. But here's what's interesting afterwards. I was just at an event with Jason Isaac, and some people in here were there, and there was 450 people there. And it was in Driftwood. Ted Cruz was there, Jason Isaac. That was his event, his third annual barbecue. Zero press. None. And the fact is, I've been in the media a while. And, member of the press, and a good friend of mine, Texas Insider Jim Cardle, and go on the House floor and the Senate floor. All that stuff's, great, but none of it gets to you. You really don't know what you don't know. You think you know what you know, but you really don't know. Real-time, on-the-ground reporting is not there anymore. Being first is kind of a slap at. Everyone wants to be first, right? On Fox News, and MSNBC, MSN, NBC, ABC, there's so many acronyms of media out there, it's hard to even keep them straight anymore. But being first to us is not being first one there to give you the bad information or the wrong information. It's to be first with the facts. To be first with the information that's relative to you and your community. Most politics is important closest to home. And the hardest information to get is closest to home. Heck, if I want to know what's going on with in national, I can just turn on all the different media sources, and I can find that out. But what's happening right here in this neighborhood, where you go? We counted, I remember I was with one of my other children, and we sat 22 negative stories on the local news, and it was car crashes, and people breaking in houses, and someone getting busted for this or that, or maybe there's a storm brewing somewhere. But nothing really important about getting everybody close together, getting you true information. Like now in politics, these races are a big deal. Obviously having Jerry Patterson here, it'd be interesting to get his thoughts on how he would govern now that he sees what's happened to the lieutenant governor. How is it going to change the face of politics? But I'll say this in closing, because I could go on, because it's a long story. But the fact of the matter is, you and I need to know real-time information from the most factual sources. And the only way we can do that is be at the event. Bam! Right there, in real time. Upload it in real time. So I can pull it on my phone, I can pull it on my tablet, I can watch it in real time. The youth in the room, they laugh at you're over 40, they laugh at the way we look at media. This is how they think. That's old. Heck, some people still pull out the paper. My neighbor across the street, I'm like, Mark, that happened yesterday. I asked the people in the room, younger people in the room, how do you get your news? What channel do you listen to? What channel do you watch? Huh? I go on the computer, I get it right then. Instantaneously, right? Instantaneous. Just like it's in a rhythm. So it's all in a rhythm. So what we're doing with Be First in Media is getting this new rhythm, this new pulse. Okay? And we're going to help build, citizen journalists. We have media packs that teach people how to sell their own media. How do they support themselves? Hardest thing in this industry is to make money, because as soon as you say, hey, I'm for something, oh, well, I can't back that because I have a business and I got to be good for everybody. So it's a specific way to stay in that rhythm too. So we have cards up here. We have other shirts besides the one with the fist, but please watch what we're doing. Like us on Facebook. Anyone who's out there that you know that does a lot of stuff on Facebook or Twitter or wants to get into journalism or has a story to tell, we've even opened up portals where we can give you a specific username and password to submit articles with your opinion, and then with the facts that are behind it, and then we can put it out there. And I'll say this, go back to September 13th and look at what we did. We have our own Oliver Norths, if you will, people who are BFIM media insiders, and what you're just figuring out right now, or what you're just being told right now from the mainstream media about what happened in the Middle East, blamed on a 14-minute film that we now apologize for immensely through Secretary of State and the President of the United States in your name. Sorry, it hurt your feelings. We had a story on there that told the real story the next day in real time, because we didn't have to go through all the filters that you see in the media world. And that's what freedom of the press is about. Getting the right people that have the right information, sourcing it, making sure it's as good as you can get it, and getting it out there. And so we're always looking for other people to be involved. We're always looking for people who have something to say. There's no particular party that it's accustomed to, that it's designed for. I am a conservative. I was a delegate for the state of Texas. Okay? I get involved. I get my hands dirty. I push back. I push back enough that I do broadcasting, and I'll push back on it. And I suspect all of you aren't afraid of pushing back either. And that's that pushback that's going to actually take back what's been taken from us. And that's the Republic. And you're here on purpose. And that's a fantastic thing. When people debate, whether it's libertarian or, GOP, Republican, that grand old party, whether it's Democrat, whether it's God only knows what the next one will be with the next generation. The good news is, listen to what people are saying and pay attention to what they're saying, write it down, and then hold them accountable. The biggest thing we can do, and I'll say this in closing, the reason we need to vote, and I tell everybody is this, is so we have the ability to recall and impeach. And when you don't vote, you have no power to do either. So there's no such thing as a rebellion in a free republic if we don't all vote. I would love to see 100% of the people vote, but vote intelligently. But then when you do vote, know you have the power to say you lied, and then you can recall them or you can impeach them. And that's why I like to see young people get engaged, know that there's some fight left in this country, and that it's not something that is easily won, and that's the ability to free vote in this representative republic. So thank you so much. That's my 10 minutes, I think.